Welcome back to Fontaine Real Estate YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the key steps to investing in property. I'm only going to be focusing on investment property. If you want me to go a bit deeper into when you're purchasing a residential property and the finances, because there are slight nuances, let me know. But in this specific video, we're going to be talking about investments. And the key difference is cash flow, building wealth. When you're purchasing for an investment, the idea is to create that passive income and to build that wealth. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So let's get started. The first key step to investing in property is, of course, is finances. You need to make sure that you have your finances in check. So you can sign up to websites such as Experian or ClearScore, and you just want to check your credit rating or your credit score. You want to make sure that it's good. If it's poor, then it's okay. Don't panic. It just means that you're one step ahead, because before you dived in and said, yep, I want to quickly buy all these properties, you checked your credit score. So if it's poor, you can then make steps to increase that rating, whether that is by signing up to the electoral register, just showing or proving that you can handle your credit. So there's so many different websites on how you can improve your credit score. So I would definitely recommend that you read that information and improve your credit score. So that's the key step in relation to the umbrella of finances, is checking your credit score and making sure that it's good. And just to hone in on that point, the reason for that is when you get lending, the lending companies, they need to make sure that you can afford your mortgage. They need to ensure that you're reliable when it comes back to paying back your debts. So we need to make sure credit score is good. Next is we also need to have that deposit ready. So when purchasing an investment property, it is usual to take out some sort of loan, some sort of lending, usually a mortgage such as a buy-to-let mortgage. And if we're speaking about a buy-to-let mortgage in specific, then you will need 25% of the purchase price, right? So if a house is, let's get the calculator out. Let's get my calculator out. I used to be amazing at mental maths, but let's just focus on one thing at a time. Let's focus on one struggle at a time. So if you purchase, let's say, a house for £100,000, you need 25% of the deposit. So you just simply do 25% times 100,000. So you'll need 25,000 deposit. So this needs to be sat in your account, right? And you need to make sure that you also have funds for additional elements of purchasing a property, such as the stamp duty. You could just go onto the stamp duty calculator, put in the purchase price, and it will quickly calculate how much stamp duty you would need to pay. Also things such as solicitor fees. Solicitor fees varies depending on your location and the complexity of the purchase as well. And you also need to take into consideration broker fees. Broker fees do start from around £500, but again, it depends on what broker you use. So there's so many elements and so many costs involved, which is more than just the deposit. It's the deposit, stamp duty, legal fees, broker fees, maybe even insurance, refurb costs as well, because there may be some renovation works that need to be done. So there's all these costs that come into play, and you need to make sure that you have the finances readily available. So just to hone in on the umbrella of finances, so check your credit score, 1. 2, ensure that the funds are in your bank account to cover the various elements of purchasing a property. So that's step 1, finances. Step 2 is you want to get a mortgage in principle. What is a mortgage in principle? Well, a mortgage in principle is a document which says that you will be able to get lending to purchase this property. And how do you get this mortgage in principle? Well, usually we work closely with mortgage brokers, and we work with mortgage brokers rather than liaising directly with banks, because mortgage brokers, they have access to various different lending panels, which means that they can search across a database and see what lending is available to you in your circumstances at the best rate, essentially. So you speak with a mortgage broker, your finances are in check, they will be able to go out to different lenders and provide you with a mortgage in principle. This mortgage in principle is power, because when it comes to putting forward offers, you could say, hey, estate agent, I want to put forward this offer, and by the way, bang, here is my mortgage in principle. Do not play with me. Estate agents will definitely take you more seriously when they see that you have a mortgage in principle in place, because it just shows that, yeah, you can afford this house. As there's so many time wasters, so many people just exploring, so it shows that you're serious and it puts you in a good negotiating power. Okay, so let's get into the third step. So we've spoken about finances, we've spoken about the mortgage in principle. So the first step is defining your criteria. What strategy are you going after? And by the way, if you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, it's fantastic, because over the weeks, I'll be dropping more videos about the various strategies that you can do when purchasing and investing in property. So do stay tuned. But it's key that you understand what strategy that you want to get involved in, because there's so many different strategies. Buy to let is for one, which is our utmost favorite. You also have what we call the BRR. So you're buying, you're renovating, you're refinancing, you're renting. So you have that type of strategy. You also have your below market value strategies. There's so many different strategies. And then also thinking about the location. Where do you want to purchase? Does my budget allow me to purchase in this area or perhaps that area? You know, what is my exit going to be? Am I looking for a HMO? Because if so, you can really only conduct HMOs in particular areas now because of what we call Article 4. And it's a restriction on people just developing new HMOs in the area without proper planning permission from the council. Another strategy is service accommodation or social housing. There's literally so many different types of strategies, locations that you can purchase in. So it's about honing in what strategy you actually want to do, what will be best for you, especially if you are a new time investor. You do want to keep things simple and just test the waters as well. So defining your criteria, that's the first step. Step number 4 is the viewings, and viewings can be exciting, especially if you are just getting started out. You want to book in as many viewings as possible. Get the feel of the area, the type of houses that you actually like, what strategies work for, what type of houses. Do you want a house? Do you want a flat? So yeah, view different types of properties, and you can, go into various estate agents, let them know what you're looking for. So you don't just want to submit an offer. Step number 5 is submitting the offer. So you've gone to all these viewings now and you found a property, or even a couple of properties that you really like, and so it's time to submit that offer. So you could either do this via phone call, which is what I prefer, because then you can start negotiating, see what other offers are on the table, and kind of gauge what offer you should put forward, right? Or you could send an email. But as I say, pick up the phone, start negotiating with the estate agent. What you don't want to do is put the asking offer in. And what I mean by that is, if the asking price is, for example, £100,000, you need to think, is this property actually worth £100,000? If it is, there should be a lot of competition, and then it could even go above asking price, right? But if the property isn't worth £100,000, you need to negotiate, because the worst thing that you can do is put forward an offer on a property and it's not even worth what it's being sold at. So for example, if a property is listed at £100,000, but it's actually worth £90,000, but you still put forward an offer of £100,000. That means you are already at a loss as soon as you purchase that property. So it's all about your due diligence and market research. And it's key that you look at comparables on the roads in which you're purchasing the property at, to ensure that you put forward the best offer possible. I'm going to do more videos on negotiating and how to submit offers in a separate video, but that is the 5th step, is making the offer. Step number 6. So your offer's been accepted, fingers crossed, and sometimes your offers do get rejected, but you keep going, you keep trying until an offer gets accepted. So once it does get accepted, it's now time to instruct your chosen solicitors. And these are solicitors that specialize in conveyancing / property law. So you will let them know, hey solicitor, I'm purchasing this property in this area for this much. Can I instruct you? They will then send you a quote. They will commence their conveyancing services, which will include stuff such as searches on the property and liaising with the seller's solicitors. They will eventually provide you with an exchange and completion date, and that is essentially when the property is yours, you collect the keys, and you are now the owner of an investment property. That is step number 6. Step number 7 is surveys and valuation. So remember, we would have instructed a mortgage broker, and the mortgage broker would have found you lending. When the lending is approved, they would want to send out a valuer to inspect the property to make sure that they want to lend on the property. And you may also want to get additional surveys on the property, such as a home's buyer report, just to make sure that the property is structurally sound. So that is step number 7. The final step in the process now, once you've gone through the survey, the valuation, and you've exchanged and completed on the property, is you can now move into the property. Move your builders into the property should the property require a renovation. Once it's renovated, the property will be ready to rent out. And that is the most exciting part, when the property is ready to rent out, because that means you can start making money on the property. After spending all this money on this investment, you now want to recoup your funds. You want to get your return on your investment. I hope this video was really helpful. I hope the steps have given you more clarity in what is involved in the process when investing in property. And of course, subscribe to this channel because we'll be releasing more videos like this. And of course, leave comments below. Let us know what you think about this video, and let us know what type of videos you want to see next. Stay tuned for the next one.